want to attack opposing offenses, and we'll get a good glimpse of that in week 1. So those are really the 3 ranked versus ranked matchups, but there's a ton of other great matchups that we're very excited about. Bama will be on the road at Florida State. Don't need much to sell this one. Florida State was left out of the playoff a couple years in favor of Alabama. So a natural rivalry that has been brewing for a couple years. It should be an awesome environment and a hostile environment there in Tallahassee when the Crimson Tide comes to town. You got Georgia Tech at Colorado. You got South Carolina against Virginia Tech. Love that matchup, by the way. I'm hoping that Virginia Tech is back and more competitive early in the season this year. Auburn at Baylor on Friday night should be incredible. Very much looking forward to seeing how that game's going to go, because I think Baylor is sneaky, and Auburn should start the season in the top 25. And it's not just exclusive to the Power 5 versus Power 5 matchups. We also have Boise at South Florida. I love that matchup. That's a really, I think South Florida's got a chance to make a lot of noise, and Boise traveling all the way to Tampa should be really intriguing. That game will be Thursday amongst 2 teams that could very well find their way into the college football playoff as the G5 representative. You got Nebraska, Cincinnati, you got Utah, UCLA. So a lot of very intriguing games that we have to look forward to. But here's where I think we might be missing the boat. I think we can do more. Now, you're going to sit there and say, Greg, you just gave me like 10 games that are really good. And I don't disagree. I'll be sitting there on my couch and or in a booth consuming as much college football content as humanly possible there in week 1 of the college football season. But what we should do, because there is no NFL, there is no competition, we own that weekend. We have exclusivity over that weekend. We should make week 1 the greatest spectacle of non-conference matchups that we can possibly imagine. And I'm talking year to year. I know these schedules are scheduled way out in advance in some cases, like Clemson and Notre Dame. They agreed just last week to a 12-game series that starts in 2027, running all the way through 2038. But what I propose is let's make sure we have the biggest possible matchups for every Power 4 team on that week 1. And if that means we have triple header on Thursday, triple header on Friday, triple header on Saturday, triple header on Sunday, triple header on Monday, then so be it. Monday's a holiday. Let's play a game at noon, 3:30, and at 7. Load it up with marquee matchups across the board. Well, we're getting good matchups. Like I said, hear me when I say this. We don't have bad matchups. There are a lot of great games, but we can have more. And with the NFL on the sideline that weekend, it's an opportunity to kick off our season in style. And then if you want to go one step further, we've seen with success the last few years, week 0 become kind of a marquee opportunity for several teams. Georgia Tech last year kind of announced to the world that they're going to be a problem for a lot of teams in the ACC when they knocked off Florida State in week 0 over there in Ireland. Week 0 should be for the G5 and make the most matchups, most quality matchups you could possibly imagine, put those on week 0. So week 0 is a G5 showcase. Week 1, a P5 showcase. And we can do more. So I think there's an opportunity that we can lean into with college football and making sure that when we start the season, we're starting with a huge bang where we can capture that audience that might not necessarily have an interest in college football when the NFL begins. But if we give them big time matchups and marquee games scattered throughout the weekend that are unopposed in some windows, then we can maybe recruit an NFL fan that becomes a college fan for the future because of some of the matchups they might be able to consume week 1. Well, it looks like there's a lot of momentum building towards the SEC fully adopting a 9-game conference schedule. I couldn't be more excited about this. And I know for a long time, the SEC and the strength of the SEC top to bottom, I understand that 8 games is all they needed to punch their ticket to the college football playoff. The SEC doesn't have anything to prove to anybody. But if you look at the matchups that could be created, the rivalries that could be created as a result of adding that one extra conference game. Now, it's only 8 games overall. I mean, it's not like it's a ridiculous amount of games. You'll have 8 SEC games, SEC versus SEC games that you'll get.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installations with no interest and no payments for 12 months. Replace that old bathtub today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599. 800-717-4599.
When you think of hot, you might think about the tragic time you ate too much wasabi.
No.
Or about getting into your car on a summer day when it feels more like stepping into a sauna. But heat can work in your favor, like during Verizon Red Hot Deal Days. Get hundreds of hot deals on all your favorites, like iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad, on any plan. Only until May 28th for new and existing customers. Offer available on My Plan. Only at Verizon.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. At night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
The 700 ESPN Christmas Wish Golf Tournament, presented by Subaru of Spokane, is sold out. We look forward to seeing every single golfer that signed up to play the Coeur d'Alene Resort Course on June 10th. The sold-out 700 ESPN Christmas Wish Golf Tournament, presented by Subaru of Spokane, is also brought to you in part by Dynamic Decks and Delicious Burgers. We'd also like to say thank you to Playmore RV, Residential Home Solutions, and the Coeur d'Alene Triathlon.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Connect.
105.3 KXLX 700 K2A7B Airway Heights, Spokane. This is Sports Center.
I'm Dave Mager, PGA Championship third round. A birdie on 7, lifting Scotty Scheffler to the lead. He's tied with Siwoo Kim, Bryson DeChambeau, 1 shot back. Baseball, weeks after getting a vote of confidence from Baltimore GM Mike Elias, manager Brandon Hyde is fired. The Orioles in last place in the AL East after making the playoffs the last 2 years. The interim manager is Tony Mansolino. Baltimore hosting Washington, just getting started. Mets at Yankees, 7th inning, Tyrone Taylor doubled, leading to a great relay throw from Anthony Volpe to nail Brett Beatty at the plate.
Bellinger will fire into Volpe. Here comes the runner from third. The throw home is in time! Volpe with a one-hop relay that was on point.
Barely. That kept the game tied at 2. And East Schroff on ESPN Radio. The Mets have taken the lead on a 9th inning sac fly, 3-2. Cubs lead the White Sox 6-3 in the 5th. Kansas City placing pitchers Cole Reagans and Seth Lugo on the 15-day injured list. NBA playoffs Game 7 Sunday, Denver at OKC. It's on ABC and ESPN Radio. NHL playoffs Game 6, Winnipeg at Dallas. Stars lead 3-2. It's on ABC at 8 Eastern Time. All-time goals leader Alex Ovechkin says he will come back for a 21st NHL season. Soccer, Crystal Palace wins the FA Cup 1-0 over Manchester City. It's being called an all-time upset. Lacrosse quarterfinals final, Cornell 13, Richmond 12.
Hey, it's resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming on Monday. So much going on in the world of sports, NBA and NHL playoffs, plus the PGA Championship. And I'll react to it all in my upon further review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This is Prime Time on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
3 goes down for OG. The lead is 41. A blowout of epic proportions in Game 6 for the Knicks against Boston. The Knicks are headed to the Eastern Conference Finals.
The whole day of Game 5 just wasn't us. We knew that. We reflected on it, and we came back. We knew that we needed to be ready. We needed to be better.
Here in these situations, especially in the playoffs, we talk about that New York grit, that unrelentless belief that we will never lose, and we showed it this series.
We got way more to go.
Bing bang. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go.
That was a forever night last night for the Knicks fan as New York, the Knicks, return to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. This is primetime on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, and SiriusXM Channel 80. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Good to have you aboard. I'm Jonathan Zaslow. Our pal is David Dennis Jr. David, usually when you say something like a team returns for the first time in 25 years, it would usually be like a team's return to the championship round, the NBA Finals. This is returning to just the conference finals for the first time in 25 years. But whatever way you want to look at it, last night was one of those nights that I like to call, as a sports fan, that was a forever night for the Knicks fan.
Absolutely. And, we could talk about maybe this is the biggest celebration that we've ever seen for a team to get out of the second round in any sport in American history. Yeah. Like, this is the kind of celebration it was. But you got to look at what, like, for our generation of people, I think we're roughly same age, give or take a few years, like, we came up on Knicks dominance, like not even winning championships, but
they
Knicks
tormented me in my teenage years. Tormented.
Yeah, absolutely. They were in the picture at the very least, right? Even though it didn't result in champions, I think that you can look at that 90 Knicks as a team that has as much pedigree as a team that has won a championship, right? Like you look at them versus the Rockets won 2 championships, but you still think the Knicks are just as synonymous with 90s basketball as the Rockets were, right? And so to have an entire century, right? Or it's not like the rest of this 21st century, to have them not come anywhere close and to be irrelevant for 20 of the 25 years of this century, and to go out there and beat the Boston Celtics, of all people, the defending champions. Generally, if you showed me that group of people outside of any stadium after a second round win, I would say that this is a loser, loser behavior from a city. But the Knicks and New York are absolutely deserving of that kind of parade, that sort of celebration to get to this where they are now.
You're totally right. And, it's easy to make fun of what you just said, where have you ever seen a fan base so pathetic? You're only out of the second round and you're celebrating like you won the NBA Finals. I would say, pump the brakes. Yeah. This is what sports are supposed to be for, all right? You see how happy those fans were. Now, it looked a little bit dangerous, too, but you see how happy all of those fans were in the streets.
Nothing's ever dangerous in New York. They just, they're used to that stuff, In
the building, on the streets, you see how happy all of those people were. That's literally what sports are for. Yeah. So, yes, you could say, wow, that's so pathetic that you're celebrating getting out of the second round, but I'm not going to sit here and do that, because those people had one of the all-time great sports nights of their fan life. Let's hear from Mikal Bridges. Here he is at the game telling you how Knick fan deserves this.
Yeah, I think Josh showed me a video walking here. Guys climbing up light poles and stuff. So, yeah, it's crazy, man. But, great for them. Happy for them. Obviously I'm new here, but just know how much New York loves their sports, and especially the Knicks. So, just so excited to be a part of it, and they enjoy it for us right now, but obviously we got way more to go, but happy for them.
I saw this one video, David, where there was a Knicks fan outside in the streets. They were sitting on top of one of the jumbotrons, with the billboards. Like, it's a little bit dangerous up there. Can everybody be careful? Like, I hope everyone was safe last night. They looked so rowdy in the streets after the game last night.
Yeah, I mean, imagine what will happen if they win a championship. Like, you are going to have this is going to make New Year's Eve ball drop look like a block party. Like, this is this is the type of celebration. This is the thing, they always say that basketball is better when New York is good, and it's kind of like, I kind of always thought it was kind of like a load of, whatever. Like, it's just something that you say. But this is a level of excitement, especially when you look at the way that the playoffs have fallen now, and you do not have, the LeBrons, the Stephs, the KDs, the people like that we've grown up with. It's kind of teams that the mainstream is not totally familiar with the Pacers, with the Thunder, people just getting along, figuring out who Ant is. And even if they don't know who Knicks players are, people are talking about the fact that the Knicks are in the playoffs and can realistically, for the first time, because even that 1999 run that everybody's sort of referencing, they didn't have a realistic shot. They wouldn't have a realistic shot to win the championship. There was no way they were going to beat that Spurs team. So really, for the first time since 1994, right, we're looking at a Knicks team that has a legitimate shot to win a championship.
Let's hear from Jalen Brunson after the game last night. Here he is on ESPN with Lisa Salters.
Jalen, when you look up at that scoreboard and see that score, just as you get goosed by your teammates, just what do you think?
I don't know, but that's a good team, and we just found a way to make a lot of plays, play with the lead and keep it.
You left no doubt tonight, but what did you love the most about the way you closed out this series?
Just the way we kept our composure. Game 5, they got the best of us, and the way we responded, and we just found a way to keep making plays on the defensive side, and the offense is rolling.
And what were you guys doing collectively, just as a group, to make, like you said, a good team, the defending champs, just look so average?
Yeah, they're not average, let's say that, but the way we were just flying around, making plays for each other, having each other's back, that's what's most important.
I know you always keep it right here. You keep it even. But, when you feel this love that you're getting, you see these fans going crazy. Tell me you're feeling something. What are you feeling?
This is great. The fact that we haven't been here since my dad played or was on the team, he's not gonna like that. But it means a lot for this organization and this city.
The Pacers are waiting. They're coming to town next. The rematch of last year's semis. Just what will be the key to changing how that one ended?
You got to have a lot of composure, a lot of fight. They're a good team as well, and we have a long way to go.
Good luck the rest of the way.
That was Jalen Brunson post-game last night as the Knicks win the series in 6. They advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since the year 2000. He's David Dennis Jr. I'm Jonathan Zaslow. This is Primetime on ESPN Radio. David, as a sports fan, last night, it was essentially a party. It was a celebration almost from start to finish. The game was never close. It was never in doubt. You were able to tell the direction that game was going in right from the get-go. As a sports fan, do you prefer, because they didn't win a championship, all right, but do you prefer what last night was if you're a fan, if you're a Knicks fan, meaning there's no drama? Okay, like you don't have the big moment in the fourth quarter. It's just, it's in the bag really for probably 40 of the 48 minutes. But what comes with that is it's a night-long celebration.
Yeah, I think that, both are great, obviously. But I just think that there are cases where it's just good to celebrate the entire time.
I think that was one of them last night.
Yeah, where you don't want to be stressed. Now come finals time, I think that you may want, or conference finals time, I think you may just want to be like, I want the legendary Knicks moment. I want the legendary Jalen Brunson 3, like he hit on Asar Thompson at the end of that Pistons series. I want that moment to solidify this as the great Knicks season, as him as the great Knicks player. I think I want that before this is over. But when you're playing the Celtics and this team that nobody thought you were going to beat, and everybody had counted you out, and even when you're up 3-1 and Tatum is out, they're saying the Celtics can still win this thing, to stomp them into dust and to pick up the dust and blow it into the wind and have a party over this thing the entire time, I think that's just as good as a nail-biting game.
That night was appropriate. Yeah. Everything you just said. Like, that's why, if you're a fan, winning it like that was completely appropriate. And the Knicks fan, and look, full disclosure, I'm here in South Florida. The Miami Heat are the team of my childhood. Yeah. I mean, I love the Miami Heat. I was a broadcaster. I was on their radio broadcast for 12 seasons. The New York Knicks get no love in the Zaslow Mansion. But I could tell you, last night was completely appropriate the way that they won it. And it was almost, it looked cathartic for the Knicks fan, where you got to celebrate that for the entire night. I feel like it was a pretty perfect way for the Knicks to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in a lot of those fans' lives. And for you and me, David, it's more than half our lifetime since the Knicks got to this round, you know?
Yeah, and the Knicks deserve this kind of win. They've won the series against Detroit, and I think they only won that series like at a 10-point differential or something like that. And before last night, had a minus something like 10 or 15 in the series against Boston. They only led by like 10 minutes the entire series. They barely, they were close against Detroit the whole time. They've been in nail biters for essentially a month of basketball, right? And so to finally have this moment, I think also feels good. And yeah, like this gets everybody, like, we'll get the celebration out. Now let's get to work.
So that's the New York side of things from last night. How about the fallout for the now former champion Boston Celtics? What could next year look like for Boston? That's next. This is Primetime on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The NBA playoffs continue on ESPN Radio. The East is set. The Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks go head-to-head in Game 1. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, with tip-off at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. Played by Indeed.
No, I'm talking about all the work we need to get done around here.
I know. We need a new roof and we need replacement windows.
How about a new bathroom and some remodeling?
And how are we supposed to pay for all that?
My sister said she called remodeling and they were able to find her certified contracts.
That's great. But how'd she get the money to pay for all that?
Remodeling loans offered 0 interest for 60 months. They even have payment plans with 0 down and 0 deposit.
Looks like we're getting a home makeover.
Great. Now, if I only knew someone to call for a husband makeover.
Really?
Remodeling Loans is the #1 leader in home improvement financing. Call 800-921-403 today for a no credit check, no risk approval. Get approved today and we'll match you with the best contractors in your area. And remember, no deposit financing is now available. Call 800-921-1403. 800-921-1403.
Make sure your little ones are ready for the warm weather with the help of Once Upon a Child. Gently used clothing, toys, and baby gear for a fraction of regular retail on Sprague in the Spokane Valley.
At Papa Murphy's, we make delicious pizza.
Right, but you can't eat a pizza until it's baked, so doesn't that mean that I am the true maker of the Papa Murphy's pizza?
But Dad, doesn't Papa Murphy's hand make the dough, hand grate the cheese, and hand chop the toppings? Sounds like they make the pizza.
But I take it. I bake it to perfection, so I make the pizza.
Whatever, so long as it makes it into my mouth. Right now, order the limited time Taco Grande pizza for pickup or delivery from papamurphys.com.
For a lot of us, saving up a down payment can be the biggest barrier to buying a home. So Rocket Mortgage is lowering down payments to 1% for eligible home buyers with ONE+. Because everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. Call 800-4ROCKET or visit rocket.com to get a head start on your starter home.
Rocket Mortgage, LLC. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Another checkup?
Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them. Safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together. All of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
The lead is 41. A blowout of epic proportions in Game 6 for the Knicks against Boston. Domination, ending the Celtics' championship reign in 6 games.
They came in, we had a legit shot at it. They gave everything they had to try to go, but we ran into a better team.
And this part sucks and just wasn't able to complete the goal that we set out at the beginning.
Losing to the Knicks feels like death, but I was always taught that there's life after death, so we'll get ready for whatever's next. It wasn't our year.
This is Prime Time on ESPN Radio alongside David Dennis Jr. I'm Jonathan Zaslow. And David, if we didn't have enough going on already, you got the Stanley Cup playoffs, we got the NBA playoffs. We're now throwing WNBA into the mix as well. And we're going right at it from the get-go. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. All right, they're at halftime right now. The Fever lead the Sky 45-32. Caitlin Clark leads everybody with 12. Angel Reese has 7 points and 9 rebounds at the break for Chicago. But as you heard there, the Boston Celtics, their season is over with. This is not one of those, though. You know, if anyone was going to tell the Knicks fan, but Jason Tatum was out, I laugh right in your face if I'm that Knicks fan. They were up 3-1. They were going to win that game 4 where Tatum got hurt. They were up 3-1 with Tatum in the lineup. And by the way, the Celtics' history, minus Jason Tatum in playoff games, I think they're 10-3 now, all time, with Tatum out of the lineup. So it's, obviously last night, doesn't go the way it goes if Tatum were there, but it was 3-1, all right, when Tatum got hurt. So I don't want to hear any of that if I'm a Knicks fan. But the Celtics now, David, we were heading in a direction anyway where even if the Celtics went deep into the playoffs, heck, maybe even if they went back-to-back, I don't know. There's a new ownership group there, and we know the rules against the salary cap, this CBA. This is a different NBA than in years past, and we were already hearing about this Celtic team, how different they're going to wind up looking, and I'm not sure if you can make the case to a new ownership now where, hey, keep paying a several $100 million tax bill when we didn't even get out of the second round.
Celtics are going to have to look at the Golden State Warriors, what they did when Steph got hurt, when Clay was hurt, when KD was gone, and they tanked that season, got early draft picks, made some moves for their future. Celtics are going to have a soft rebuild right now because Tatum is out. No, they're not going to get free agents, especially like a KD or somebody who's going to want to win now. They're going to have to lose Drew Holiday probably Porzingis. Also, if they kept Porzingis, I don't know what's going on with this dude and his health issues. It's been going on for months. He has been struggling for a while now. So even if you kept him, you don't know what you're getting. But I think he's going to be gone. Al Horford may be retiring. That may be the end for him. You're in a rebuild for the Celtics team, and you're going to have to look back at these last few years, these Tatum and Brown years, yes, you won a championship last year when everybody was hurt, when you were against an overmatched Dallas team. But you're going to have to look at some of these years past during this window and think about all of the missed opportunities that you had to go down 3-0 against a Miami team that was a play-in team.
Go on.
And Tatum gets hurt in the Game 7, and you lose that series against a team you had no business being down 3-0 against. You got to look at the fact that you lost to a Warriors team. You're up 2-1, Game 4 at home. Steph Curry snatches that championship from you against a team that, again, you were favored against then. In the bubble, losing again to that Miami Heat team. You had no business losing to that team. The Celtics have so much of their history, and going even up until this season, down 3-1 against a Knicks team that you have demolished all regular season, that you had 20-point leads at home in games 1 and 2, and you folded and collapsed. The Tatum and Brown era, no matter how long it lasts, no matter how much of a rebuild it takes for them to get back to this championship, they'll look at these last 5 years as a bunch of missed opportunities in one championship.
I mean, David, let's be honest here. It's not that they'd be breaking up, this Celtic team from the last couple of years. No, this has essentially been the core. Tatum and Brown, there have been some tweaks here and there, Horford too, actually. But this has been the same core really since 2020 as far as being a championship contender, all right? Remember in the bubble, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2020. That kind of started this run for the Tatum-Brown Celtics. So what we're talking about here is this team, this core, reached the Eastern Conference Finals 4 out of 6 years from 2020 to 2025 and came away with one championship.
Yeah.
One. So I'm not going to speak for Celtic fans, all right, but I don't know if you look at that as I guess it's obviously a success because you won, but if you went to 4 Eastern Conference championships in 6 years, I think you probably expect to win more than one title, and we know that 2008 Celtic team, I mean, David, nobody talks like they won 5 championships but only won 1, like the 2008 Boston Celtics, and
never got beaten while healthy. Never lost while healthy. You got to remember that. That's what they'll be the first ones to tell you. Never lost when healthy.
I wonder if this current group will portray themselves that way as well,
Well, the thing is, they still got the good thing for them is they got time, right? They have time. These guys are not 30 yet. They're young. You can imagine Tatum will come back, but it's going to take some time for them to get back to where they were. They're going to have to figure out draft picks. They're going to have to figure out how to trade. They're going to have to build around them all brand new with these 2 guys. And you're going to have to think about, hey, is it worth keeping both of these dudes going forward? When you look at somebody like Jaylen Brown and the amount of money that he is getting going forward, what kind of number 2 guy can you win a championship with these as your A and B guys? I'm not sure. Like, they have a lot of decisions to make this offseason, but it's not even as much this offseason as it is the season after that and the season after that, because you have to rebuild a championship team very quickly. Like, the Tatum injury was so significant to changing the trajectory of this Celtics franchise, because everything is on the table right now. And a lot of it, though, they have themselves to blame, because we're going to talk about the Tatum injury. We're going to remember this series for that. But what we should remember this series is an all-time choke job from a defending champion. The way that they went down 3-1 against that Knicks team is absolutely inexcusable. The way they played in Game 1 and Game 2 in the fourth quarter is inexcusable. Amateur-level play from a championship team.
Let's hear from Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla after the loss last night.
I didn't see anything different. I saw something better. I mean, I saw throughout the season our guys had the right mindset and the right process towards going after it. You obviously, it's not going to go the way you want it to. I like the way we ended it. You just, ran into a great team in the second round. And they got the best of us. But like I said, to me, it's more about the mindset and the process that the guys had throughout the season. I thought they gave everything they had. I thought they really went after it, trying to achieve something that's obviously extremely difficult. I thought they went after that, and when you go after something, this is the price you pay.
Joe, let's be fair. You could say you ran into a great Knicks team. That's fine. You were 4-0 against them. You won by an average of 16 points per game in the regular season. Come on. Yes, the Knicks can be a great team. That's fine. But, David, you're right. Losing those first 2 games at home, the Celtics, yes, we're going to remember the Tatum injury, for sure. But the Celtics went into this series and especially played in those first 2 games like a very, very arrogant team. I make the joke about the Celtics, how many championships they portray themselves as having won. They went into this series with the Knicks portraying themselves as a team that has won several championships in a row, and that's obviously not the case.
Yeah, the Tatum injury is the image a lot of people remember. What I'll remember is those fourth quarters of Game 1 and Game 2 when the NBA championship team absolutely forgot how to play basketball and played some of the worst basketball I've ever seen down the stretch from any team in playoff history.
Game 1, Eastern Conference Finals, begins Wednesday night. A lot of time off between these teams. Knicks and Pacers, that's a few days from now. Coming up next, though, the Stanley Cup playoffs deserve love, too. Game 6 tonight between 2 great teams. We'll get into that next. Primetime on ESPN Radio.
Hey, it's resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy. Coming on Monday, I'll study the NFL schedule, which means I'll tell you the exact week Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart will start during their rookie seasons. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
The 700 ESPN Christmas Wish Golf Tournament, presented by Subaru of Spokane, is sold out. We look forward to seeing every single golfer that signed up to play the Coeur d'Alene Resort Course on June 10th. The sold-out 700 ESPN Christmas Wish Golf Tournament, presented by Subaru of Spokane, is also brought to you in part by Dynamic Decks and Delicious Burgers. We'd also like to say thank you to Play More RV, Idaho Central Credit Union, and Triple Play.
Do you want more golf and less planning? At our golf club, you get the best of both worlds. An open-to-the-public simulator experience with the feel of a private club. Book online, pay online, and receive your unique door code all from your phone. No check-ins, no waiting, just pure golf on your schedule. Refine your swing with detailed feedback or play world-class courses with your friends, all in a comfortable, private setting. Visit us in the Spokane Valley and on the South Hill. Book now at ourgolfclub.net and enjoy golf without the hassle.
Last month, Northern Quest gave away over $15 million in jackpots. $15,491,433 to be exact. Now, I'm no math whiz, but that breaks down to... Okay, divided by 60, and carry the hypotenuse. That's $359 a minute. So I guess the only question I have for you is, got a minute? Northern Quest. Yes, the best.
I'm Dave Hager, PGA Championship third round, world number 1, Scotty Scheffler in front. Tied with Johnny Vegas and Siwoo Kim. They're at 7 under. Bryson DeChambeau 1 shot back. Scheffler is playing the 9th hole. Rory McIlroy is using a backup after his regular driver was ruled to be non-conforming. McIlroy 2 over for the weekend. Baseball, Baltimore fires manager Brandon Hyde after 2 straight playoff years, followed by a 15-28 start. First inning, Washington 4, Baltimore nothing. The Yankees, DJ LeMahieu and Cody Bellinger went deep, but they were tied at 2 of the Mets, top of the 9th. Francisco Lindor batting with a man on third.
Lindor pops it up.
shallow left center. Bellinger drifting over right next to Dominguez. Tagging from third is Acuna. He scores.
Anish Shroff, ESPN Radio. That was the winner. 3-2 Mets. Aaron Judge struck out to end the game. Seventh inning, Cubs 6, White Sox 3. Dansby Swanson went deep, his 10th. NBA playoffs, Game 7, Sunday afternoon, Denver at OKC. It's on ABC and ESPN Radio. Denver's Aaron Gordon, a game-time decision with a sore hamstring. The winner gets home court in the Western Finals against Minnesota. NHL playoffs, Game 6, Winnipeg at Dallas. Stars lead 3-2. It's on ABC at 8 Eastern Time. The father of the Jets, Mark Scheifele, passed away suddenly overnight. It's unclear if Scheifele will play tonight. And the Preakness Stakes in Baltimore, Journalism is the favorite at 8-5.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, the Pacers and Wolves have been sitting at home waiting for their opponents. I'll tell you just how concerned they should be about rust. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Want to welcome aboard the audience from Mets and Yankees as the Mets top the Yankees this afternoon 3-2. Good to have you aboard here. This is Primetime on ESPN Radio. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. He's David Dennis Jr. I'm Jonathan Saslow. Oh, David, tomorrow night, Panthers. Oh, we blew it last night, David. Panthers, Game 7. Like I needed a Game 7 in my life. Game 7 tomorrow night. Panthers and Leafs, all right? But tonight, we got Game 6, Stars and Jets. The President's Trophy-winning Jets, their season is on the line. Joining us now, Bob Wischusen, he NHL on ESPN. He is on the call tonight. Also, voice of the New York Jets. Bob, we finally got you calling a Jets playoff game. How about that?
Yeah, it's been a while. If I want a Game 7, then I need the Jets to win tonight. And normally, unfortunately, in my world, when I need the Jets to win, it doesn't always go well. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out tonight. We have to buck a trend.
Bob, this building, Dallas tonight, 8 o'clock on ABC. Bob Wischusen has the call. For my money, Bob, I feel like the crowds in Dallas, that atmosphere, I feel like it's been the best atmosphere of these Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's awesome. I mean, they're into it. Yeah, it's. I've been to some fun places. We were in Vegas for several of the Edmonton games, Minnesota as well. I have not done a game from Winnipeg. The whiteout looks awesome on TV. I'll get a chance to do a Game 7 if they win the game tonight. But the crowd here is impactful. There's no doubt. The Stars, I think, lost their first home game of the playoffs this year to the Avs, and they've won 5 in a row since. So, they're 5-1 at home in the postseason against really good competition.
Well, speaking of home and away, one of the big stories of the playoffs, Connor Hellebuck, the way that he has performed at home, on the road. What's going on with him in this postseason? What do you expect to see going forward?
It's mental. It has to be. There's no other explanation for it. I mean, the numbers are just too insane. He's got 2 home shutouts. He's 6-1 at home. He has the goals against of like 1.7 at home. He's lost all 5 road games and has a goals against of close to 6. He's been pulled from 3 games on the road. So, yeah, you can't be this good and win your 3rd Vezina and win it back-to-back years, which, I mean, he's a foregone conclusion to do that because it's a regular season award, and his numbers in the regular season were insane. And then all of a sudden forget how to play the position just because you're on the road in the playoffs. What is going on between his ears, especially if he gives one up early? I don't know, but you can tell. I mean, there are certain players you can just watch them and watch their body language and watch them almost